Thanks for joining us here at Functional Bliss, where Audra and Jessica will guide you through exercises and wellness techniques to help you live your best life every day. It's in the name, after all, Functional Bliss. Before you do anything else, click like and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know whenever we put up a new video. To join our Blissful Gang for live Zoom classes where you can get more direct suggestions and encouragement, go to our website and sign up. Check the class description below for any equipment needs, grab your gear, and let's get started.
Skills. Okay, all right, so come down onto your back, feet as wide as you like them to be, and then we're just going to move into some windshield wipers right away. So just dropping your knees from side to side. If you like a little extra something for the upper body, arms are going to come up into cactus or goalpost arms. And then if you like just that little extra bit of something for the upper body, as your knees drop in one direction, your head is going to turn in the opposite direction. Head turn as much as feels good, but watch your range of motion. Take your time to just let your body move to a depth that feels appropriate. For these last 20 seconds, if you like that little coordination of breath, inhale to one side, exhale to the other side. And think of the lungs and your breath work today as kind of the modality to get the stuff out of your body. So in traditional Chinese medicine, we hold grief in our lungs. In yoga tradition, the lungs, arms, and heart space are all connected to the heart chakra. So we're just going to work through our breath a little bit. Think of it as really nice and close to that heart space. All right, now bring those knees in and we're going to move right into some gentle wind relieving. So wind relieving pose for my yoga friends, or just pulling the knees to the chest. So now here, choose what makes the most sense to you. Perhaps a loose hold, one knee's super bent, and then take it to the other side. Maybe you need a little extra core work, so you're going to pull knees to chest, let the leg go long and hover. And then maybe you need that extra little bit, so you'll curl up the head, neck, and chest and get the core engaged. So find the depth of work that makes the most sense to you. Sometimes less is more. So pay attention to how your body's feeling this morning. Ask your body what it needs. And then for anybody who's working with the breath, I like that exhale as that knee pulls into my heart space. I get a little compression of the abdomen and I can let all of that breath go. So big exhales to let everything out of your body. "12 seconds left." And time. Nicely done. Okay, we're moving right into some supine twist. So you're going to take one knee up towards the chest, roll it across the body, come through center, switch to the other side, roll it across the body. Now, same thing on this. How deep you go with it, what feels good to your body. If your back is giving you trouble, or if there's anything feeling out of place, you may choose to go really light with that movement. But if things are feeling good, you're going to really find that exhale. Pull that knee across your body. Exhale. Inhale as you bring it back to center. Switch over to the other side. Big exhale as you open up into your twist, and then move it at a pace that makes the most sense to you. If you're going along the way and you find anything you need to pause on, take a moment to breathe into anything that might feel right to you. "20 seconds left." And time. Nicely done. Okay, we're taking it right into some hip bridges. But for this morning, anyone who wants to do that nice, get it out of your body work, it's going to be a rolling bridge. So feet about hip width distance apart, heels close to the butt. Think about curling the tailbone up and then think one vertebrae at a time all the way up to the top, and then one vertebrae at a time to lower down. So if you're going for that slow, controlled, mindful work this morning, you're just going to roll it up through the spine, roll it down through the spine. Think intentionally going for that one vertebrae at a time sort of action. If you're just wanting to get those hip bridges in, you want to work those glutes, load up your hand weights at your hip points, exhale, lift up, inhale, lower down. So find the work that makes the most sense to you this morning. Roll up and roll down, or just a hip hinge, roll, come up, squeeze your butt and lower down. Find the work you like the best. Especially if you're going for that roll up one vertebrae at a time, exhaling as you lift up, inhaling as you roll down, but really nice slow inhalation through the nose. Nice job. 5 seconds left. And time. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to take it. It's going to be one leg for 1 minute, one leg for the other minute. You're going to bring your leg into a figure 4 configuration. You're going to pull your legs towards your heart space just enough so you feel a little bit of stress in your hip. Lower your foot down, and then a single leg hip bridge. Lift your hips up just enough. Lower them down with control. Pull your knees toward your heart. Lower them down. Lift your hips up. We're going to stay on this side for 1 minute. Now, in between that space, there might be a move that might not feel good to you this morning. So if your knees are giving you grief, perhaps you leave off pulling the legs toward your heart and you just focus on the single leg hip bridge. Bring your elbows to the ground. Exhale, lift your butt up. Inhale to lower down. But if it feels good to add that little stretch, pull the knees toward your heart, set your foot down, lift your hips up. Find the work here that makes the most sense to you this morning. And time. Beautiful work. Okay, we're switching right over to the other side. Keep in mind, one side might be very different from the other. Accessibility in the hips or how your knee is feeling, that just might change as you switch sides. So go for the side work that makes the most sense. Lifting the legs up toward your heart, lifting up into that single hip bridge. Find the pace that works best for you. Find the depth of work that makes the most sense to you. We've got 1 minute on the clock. I love that exhale as I pull those legs towards my heart, and then I exhale again as I lift up into that single leg hip bridge. And especially if you're working on getting that stuff out of your body, the exhale, nice and forceful through your nose as you pull the legs in towards your heart, and a big exhale as you lift your hips up. "15 seconds left. Nice work. And time. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to place our legs into a fairly loose, wide configuration. So think feet about towards the edges of your mat, heels a little bit further away from your butt. We're going to take a big good morning stretch with the arms, stretch them up and overhead, and then roll up like you're going for a sit-up, and then you're just going to reach, boop, touch that space right between your feet, and then roll right back down. Arms are going to stretch up and overhead. So think of it as a loose sit-up, and let your arms kind of help give you a little bit of momentum. And don't even think of this necessarily as like a strengthening exercise. Think of this as an exhale and let go. So as you poof, let it go, touch the floor, roll your way back down to the ground. Inhale, extend the arms up. Exhale, come all the way up, and then touch that floor as you come all the way up. Legs adjusted to your body's proportions. So legs as wide as feels good so that your hips move easily. Knees bent so you're not yanking against your hamstring muscles. Core muscles do get engaged, but use that with your exhale. So it's that big exhale. Even if you want to breathe out through your mouth here so that you're really finding that work and letting it go. All right, now the next time you come up to a sit-up position, we're going to stay in that more upright seated position. Elbows and forearms are going to come down to the ground. We're going to go left leg or one leg once for 1 minute, one leg for the other minute. But we're going to extend the leg long, and then we're going to alternate. So it's going to be toe turned out, leg lifts to knee height, lowers with control, toe turned up to the ceiling, leg lifts up to knee height, lowers with control, toe turns in, leg lifts up to knee height, lower with control, and then back to it. So we turn the toe out, up towards the ceiling, turn the toe in, and you're just going to alternate between those three spaces. So find the pace that makes the most sense to you. I love that nice, slow, controlled lift and hover, lower, let the heel hover, turn the toe up towards the ceiling, lift and hover, lower with control. Keep your upper body nice and stable, a little space in the collarbones, a little bracing in the shoulders. When we turn the toe out and turn the toe in, really that action is coming from up at the thigh. So you want to feel like your thigh has turned in or turned out as well. So it's not just the toe that's doing the work, it's also that upper part of the leg. And time. Nicely done. Okay, we're switching right over to the other leg. So switch your legs and then right back to work. Toe turns out, leg lifts to knee height, lower and hover, toe turns up towards the ceiling, leg lifts to knee height, lower and hover, toe turns in, leg lifts to knee height, lower with control. You've got it. Nice work. And time. Beautiful. Okay, this next one, maybe variations for each body, just all things depending. It's going to be a roll back. You're going to roll back, let your hips lift. And as you roll up, you're going to swing around. So you're in that little bit of a zigzag seat or your deer seat. You'll fold forward just a little bit and then push yourself right back out of it. Swing your legs around, roll back, let your hips lift, swing your legs out to the other side. Do a little lean forward. So the variations might exist in how far your legs swing out to one side. You may choose to just go for the rolling up and down. You may choose to just stay in a zigzag seat, do 30 seconds one side, folding 30 seconds the other. So find the depth of work that you like the best. Roll back, let your hips lift, roll up, swing your legs out to one side, lean forward. And then if you want that little extra like strengthening maneuver, if you need that little extra something this morning, as you go up into that zigzag seat, you're just going to do that nice big hip lift, swing your legs up, roll back, get a little core work, come on through, lean forward, and then add that hip lift, but only if the hip lift feels good. For some of our knees, that might not be the place to be this morning. And time. Nicely done. Okay, the next time you roll up, come on up and then spin it around. We're going to come down into a prone position. So for my yoga friends, think Sphinx pose. We're going to go elbows in line with the shoulders, arms in a parallel position. It's going to be a Sphinx up. So we're going to engage the core muscles, lifting the hip points up, and then a little stretch to the back. So we're going to alternate between a little strength and a little stretch, but we're going to use our breath to help. So arms in that parallel position, you're going to push into your elbows and forearms, broaden the back of your body, pull your hips away from the ground, lower with control, and then press into your palms, lift your elbows up just enough so you feel a little stretch or a little back bending situation, and then lower back down. We've got 1 minute on the clock. You're going to take the work at your pace. If that back bending doesn't work good for you, you'll leave that part off and just do the Sphinx ups as you lift your hips away from the ground and then lower them with control. But if it feels good to add that little alternate with that little stretch, lift your heart, lower it down, lift your hips, lower them down. Nice work. Twenty seconds left. And time. Beautiful. Okay, we're coming up into a knee down push-up position, but we're going to go with those diamond push-ups. So start by finding your tabletop position. Our hands are going to be in that little shape of a diamond. It's going to be 30 seconds of our diamond push-ups and then 30 seconds some wide circular push-ups. So cushion your knees as needed. Hands are going to form that triangle position. You can do that from a tabletop or walk your knees back a little bit, but the elbows go out nice and wide and we push ourselves back up with control. We got 30 seconds of work here. Go down and up in a nice controlled motion. So we want to keep the upper body in that nice planking position. Even if you go for tabletop, plank the spine, elbows go wide, push yourself back up nice and slow and controlled. You've got it. 10 more seconds here. All right, we're going to keep those knees down, but now step your hands out nice and wide to the outer edges of your mat. And then we're circling our push-ups. So you're going to circle around in one direction, come to center, circle around the other way. So it's just a little bit of circular movement. Go slow so you stay in good control of that movement. Yes, you guys look amazing. Beautiful. And time. Nicely done. Okay, now bring it up to your tabletop position. If you want to cushion your knees, this is definitely a place that might feel good. We're going to step one leg out to the side. So it's going to be, for my yoga friends, our gate pose preparatory position. So leg is out to the side, toes and knees are pointing forward. You're going to pull your butt back towards your heels just as far as feels good, and then come back into that tabletop position, lift the leg up and out to the side, lower it with control. We have 1 minute on one side, 1 minute on the other side. If pulling your butt back toward your heels doesn't feel good, leave that part off and just stick with the leg lift out to the side, lower it down. But if it feels good to have that little alternate, you may feel a little stretch in the inner thigh, a little stress in the groin. Go just to the point that feels good. And then the leg that your standing leg, the knee that's down on the ground, only go as far back as feels comfortable to that knee. Nice job. You're already halfway there. And time. Beautiful. Okay, we're switching to the other side. So step that foot in, cushion your knee as needed. Left leg is going to step out to the side, and then the same bit of work applies. We lift the leg up out to the side, lower it down, butt comes back towards the heels as far back as feels good. Your standing leg toes can be curled under, they can be released. That's just whatever feels more comfortable to you. Toes curled under, you get a little stretch to the toes and the bottoms of the feet. So find the work that makes the most sense. Leg is out to the side, lift it up, lower it down, and then maybe you come back for that little stretch. Nice work. Twenty seconds left. And time. Beautiful. Okay, next up, we're going to go for a lunging position. It's going to be 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds the other side. So step your right leg forward, readjust your left leg so it's back in a comfortable position. We want to make sure that knee feels good. And then it's going to be half splits for my yoga friends. So we're pulling the hips back, we peel the front toes up, but we keep that front leg micro bent. So we feel a little stretch in the hamstring muscle, but don't go any further than feeling that little tug of stress, and then bring it right back forward. We got 30 seconds on this side. So we rock back, peel the toes up, and then rock forward and lift your chest. Going only as far as feels safe and comfortable to your knees. So that back knee should feel good. The front knee should go only as far forward as feels comfortable. Some of us, it feels better and stronger to keep it stacked on top of the ankle. For some of us, it will feel fine to let the knee go past the toe. All right, when you're ready, we're switching our lunging position. So step that foot back, get yourself rearranged, cushion your knee as needed, and then we walk that knee back to a good, comfortable distance. So you may feel a little stress in the front pocket area and a compression in the other side. And then as you pull back, you want to feel a little stretch in your hamstring muscles, and then bring it forward. We got 30 seconds on this side. One side might feel very different from the other. So make sure you honor this side. Only go as far forward and back as feels right to your knees. And time. Beautiful. Okay, we're coming up to a standing position, and now we're going to take it into a little light squatting, but mostly it's throwing our arms. And if you like, you're going to work with the breath. So you're going to inhale, arms are going to come up. You're going to exhale, throw your arms behind you, and let your breath out through your mouth. This is the one time I'm going to say, let the breath out through the mouth. So inhale through the nose, exhale, and let it out. So you make as much noise as feels appropriate in the space that you're working in. If you've got some stuff that you need to get out of your body, here's the time to do it. Inhale, arms up, exhale, throw it back. If you're feeling like this is a little much for you this morning, go super gentle, arms up, sit back into a little chair, just let your arms kind of float down. So find the depth of work here that makes the most sense to you this morning. Breathe it up, exhale it out. You've got it. Nice job. Throwing arms up like that can get a little blood pressury. So if you're monitoring your blood pressure, just watch your breath. Make sure you're not getting dizzy. Make sure everything's feeling fine as you do this work. 10 seconds left. And time. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to take it into what in my yoga times we call sweep the table. So you're going to find a good wide stance with your legs. First things first, you're going to check on your knees. You're going to position your legs so that your knees move in a gentle way that feels good. So we find this nice wide lunging position. Check your knees, position them well, and then we start to throw the arms. So you're going to imagine that there's a table of stuff in front of you and you want to sweep that stuff off. Any emotional stuff, any just day-to-day stuff that might be looming out in front of you, throw your arms with as much vigor as feels good to you. You may be going slow this morning. You might take your time. If it feels good and you want to get it out, you're going to throw your arms. Your heart rate will get up. You're using those big muscles. You're going to feel it in your breath. Let your breath come in and out wherever works best for you here. Nice job. You got 10 seconds left. And time. Beautiful. Okay, bring it in. Catch your breath just for a moment. And now we're going to take it into a little bit of a jump and a bounce. So we're going to start by bouncing and then see how bouncing feels. Can you take it into a little jump? But think of it more as like shaking it out of your body. So you're jumping, you're bouncing, your arms are shaking a little bit. 30 seconds of work here, and then we're going to change it into some heel drops. So you're just going to bounce, shake it out. Your breath will still come up a little bit here as you're doing this little bit of work. So let your breath do whatever your breath is going to do. Shake your arms, shake your legs, bounce it out, breathe nice and deep. You can twist your hips. You can move anything that would feel good, or you can keep it nice and light and just go for a gentle bounce. Ask your body, what does it want right now? All right, and then if it feels good, we're taking it into heel drops. You're going to lift your heels and let them thump down. A little bit of an impact. If that impact is no good for you this morning, you're going to go for a nice slow controlled. But if it feels good, let it drop. Let your heels thump. Let your whole body feel it. 10 seconds left. You can let it out with the breath too. As your heels hit the ground, let out that exhale. And time. Beautiful. Okay, we're taking it into our memory squats. So we're going to crisscross our arms, thumbs facing out if you can arrange it. So you're going to hold on to your earlobe. So crisscross your arms. And then we're working with the breath here. We're going to inhale as we lower into our squat. Exhale as we push down into the feet to rise up. Keep your arms crisscrossed. That's a little bit of a work for the brain. So we cross the midline of the body, asking both sides of the brain to kick on at the same time. Inhale to lower down. Exhale to rise up, and then slow it down. And for my yoga friends, tongue is suctioned to the roof of your mouth. And time. Lovely. Release your arms. Last minute of work. So gentle. Just take it into a light and gentle cross crawl. So one hand is going to reach across, a little bit of rotation in the spine. So we twist a little bit. We pick up one knee and touch, bring it to the other side. This last bit of work, that cross crawl, same idea. We're working both sides of the brain. We're crossing the midline of the body. We're working opposite limbs to opposite limbs. And then we're working on a little bit of balance. So we're challenging a lot with just a little bit of work. Let your breath slow down here. See if you can start to bring it in and out through your nose again. Last 10-second challenge. Can you close your eyes and still do this work? And time. Beautiful job. All right, we're going to step our feet out nice and wide. So get them as wide as you like your legs to be. Take a nice big breath. Reach your arms up and overhead. A little hip hinge. Bend forward. Hands are going to find the ground. Once your hands have found the ground, side lunges. Bend one knee and then the other, but only as far as feels comfortable to your knees. One more little lunge side to side. And then we're going to walk our hands through our feet. So we're going to walk our hands behind us, past our heels, getting just a little bit of a reach. I flip my palms so my palms are pressing down into the ground. Once you've got yourself into that fold, take a nice big breath. Let your head hang nice and heavy. When you're ready, we're going to walk forward. So we're going to keep that wide leg configuration, but now we're going to walk the hands out in front of us like our hands are going for a down dog shape. So walk your hands out in front of you, and then push your butt back. Get a little stretch into the upper body. Let your head drop down. 3 nice big breaths here. All right, walk your hands back into a semi-neutral position, and now we're going to walk over towards one foot. So walk over towards one foot just as far as feels good. Soften your nose toward your knee. Lovely. And then when you're ready, walk it over to the other side. Soften your nose toward your knee. Nice. And then when you're ready, bring it back to center. Once you're back in center, toe heel your feet in. So you're going to toe and heel, toe and heel, toe and heel to get to the point where your feet are about hip width distance apart. And then you're going to bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. Take your time as you come up. Roll your shoulders all the way up to your ears. Roll them down and back. And then right away, arms up. Big lift of the arms. Bend your knees. Hinge from your waist. Fold back down towards the ground. Touch the ground. Bend your knees even more. Pull your abdominal muscles in, one vertebrae at a time. Roll your way up to standing. Roll your shoulders up to your ears, around, down, and back. One more time with that one. Reach your arms up. Bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground. Once your hands touch down to the ground, bend your knees even more. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll your way up nice and slow and controlled. And we're just going to take 3 big arm hugs. So you're going to open your arms out nice and wide, open your chest, cross your arms, give yourself a little hug and squeeze. Open your arms out nice and wide, open your chest. Other arm is going to come on top. Give yourself a little hug, but a nice tight squeeze. Arms are going to open out nice and wide. Original arm is going to come on top. Give yourself a little hug and squeeze. Arms open out nice and wide. We're going to come back to that second arm on top. Give yourself a hug and squeeze. Last time through, open your arms out nice and wide. Maybe lift your chest, maybe even let your head drop back, and then arm comes on top. Give yourself a big hug and squeeze. Arms open out wide, chest lifts, head drops back just a little bit. Last arm on top. Give yourself that big hug and squeeze. And then when you're ready, let your arms go. Shrug your shoulders out. You guys are amazing. Grab your massage balls if you're sticking around. And now Friday, we already have a plan. So Friday, bring your heavy weights.